Hope you're having a great morning. I'm George Estevez.
And I'm Danielle Knox. Good to be with you as always this morning. Let's look at what we're working on today.
First up this morning, a South Florida family faces a devastating loss when a mother of 7 dies in a horrifying bus crash. Hear the heartbreaking message her children have for the driver behind the wheel.
A violent attack at school sends a student to the hospital. This morning we're learning new details about what pushed a classmate over the edge.
And the search is on right now for a missing 12-year-old boy. How you can help find this boy today.
Is Nick Saban heading back to school? Your Dolphin station has the details on who's after the Fins head coach.
So get your news and get out the door right now with half the commercials.
Now, live, this is CBS 4 News This Morning.
It sure is. It is 4:59 on this Tuesday morning, November 28th.
It's a very busy day of news ahead this morning, but before we get started with that, let's see what it's going to be like when you head out the door.
Yes, pretty windy over by the coast this morning. Pamela Wright is here now with our first forecast. Hey, Pamela.
Hi, yes, it is going to stay especially breezy at the beaches today, and that will impact things on the water if you want to swim or go out on a boat again. So we'll need to talk about that. Feels pretty good this morning. It's warm. Temperatures mostly in the lower 70s around. We find that in Pembroke Pines at 73. It's 76. Fort Lauderdale and Pompano Beach. So that is quite warm. 69 or between 65 to 69 is basically our normal low for this time of year. West Kendall right there at 64, but most of us well above the norm this morning, and that is statewide. Temperatures are very, very mild. 68 all the way up to Orlando, 62 in Jacksonville. Down in the Keys, you're in the lower 70s. We have been in some rain overnight. Blowing on in. Mostly it's to our north this morning, but that's just by chance, and as the morning goes on, we certainly could have some of those showers blow in. Not just this morning, but as the day goes on. Overall, though, in most levels of the atmosphere, it's still fairly dry, so we should see a decent amount of sunshine, some clouds just riding in on the sea breeze. 82 will be our high temperature today. We are going to talk about a true blast of winter in other parts of the country and see if it's going to make it this far south. See in a little bit with that, but a couple of passing showers and maybe trying to pass some cars. Mark Henry, how do we start things out on the roads this morning?
Well, good morning. Well, we still have some problems right now in Margate around West Oakland Park Boulevard, heading eastbound. Some lanes still shut down from that bus out from the accident yesterday with the bus bench and everything. We'll have some more updates on that here in just a few minutes, but again, you still may want to think about Copans or Cypress Creek as your alternate. Now, taking a look at 95 north and southbound around the Golden Glades interchange, kind of looking at the pedestrian ramp here, but both directions actually moving along pretty well at this point. No real tie-ups yet. Keep you posted, let you know if anything changes there. And the Palmetto Expressway still looking like a real easy ride in both directions. Your northbound lanes getting by without any problems heading toward the big curve. Southbound lanes heading into the airport area is still a real easy ride for you. I'm Mark Henry, CBS 4 News Traffic Control.
Now at 5:02, a local family is in tears. Their mother killed waiting at a bus stop. The mother of 7 was on her way to pick up medicine when the driver of a tractor-trailer lost control and slammed into a bus stop.
That's right. This accident happened yesterday afternoon on Atlantic Boulevard, just east of 441, not far from the victim's home. CBS 4's Carrie Codd has the devastated family's message to the driver.
The family of Lormesia Hyacinth is in pain. The mother of 7 and grandmother of 9 killed in a grisly accident while she waited at a Margate bus stop Monday morning. Her daughter Daniela feels like she lost a sister.
Very close. You can see that in the picture. We are the twin.
Police say the man behind the wheel of this tractor trailer crossed 2 lanes of traffic on Atlantic Boulevard near 441. He drove off the road, smashing a utility pole, crushing a bus bench, and killing Lormesia Hyacinth. People in the area rushed to help, but it was too late.
Look down and I see a body underneath it, and she was a woman that was sitting waiting for a bus on a bus bench, and she was under there. I mean, it was already gone.
The driver of the flatbed, Mark Guarino, suffered injuries and was barely conscious after the crash. The crash left fuel spilled on the road and knocked power out for hours. But all that was nothing compared to the woman who lay dead underneath the wreckage for hours. To her family, Lormesia Hyacinth clearly stood as a matriarch. And for her children, at this time of their greatest loss, they remember one of their mother's greatest lessons: forgiveness for what happened.
I would, because my mom would. My mom would forgive him.
I think my mom also forgave him. because my mom always teach us to forgive people.
Police still trying to determine why this driver veered off the road in the way that he did. Paramedics told us they're looking into all possibilities, including whether the driver suffered a seizure behind the wheel. Meanwhile, the family of Lormicia Hyacinth, all of that is secondary. They are left trying to make funeral arrangements. In Margate, Kerry Codd, CBS 4 News this morning.
The time right now is 5:04, and we have the picture of a 12-year-old South Florida boy who's been reported missing. Brandon Guerrero was last seen yesterday afternoon at West Miami Middle School on Southwest 24th Street and 75th Avenue. Now, the boy was wearing a white polo shirt and khaki pants. If you have any information on Brandon's whereabouts, contact Miami-Dade Schools Police Department at 305-757-COPS, C-O-P-S.
The man who police say tried to take over the Miami Herald building with a knife and a fake gun is out of jail. CBS 4's Natalia Zaya was there for his release and reveals what he said as he walked out.
Jose Varela didn't have a whole lot to say when he came out of TGK. He basically just said it was his birthday and he wanted to leave. And when he walked out those doors, he was mobbed by the media and he looked agitated and confused. His bail bondsman tells me a friend picked him up and a Spanish radio station raised the money he needed to bond out. That same bail bondsman also tells me all Varela told him is that he was depressed and he wanted to go home. Wearing camouflage and armed with a realistic-looking toy gun, Varela allegedly took over the 6th floor of the Miami Herald building Friday. That's the Nuevo Herald newsroom. Witnesses there say he called himself the new editor of the Nuevo Herald and made threats against the real editor. He complained of censorship and the direction the paper was going. After a 3.5 hour SWAT standoff, Varela surrendered to police, and we're also told police were called back out to the Herald building to tow his car that had apparently been sitting in the fire lane there at that building all weekend. Now, Varela is charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault, and the judge warned him not to go back to that building and not to talk to any Herald employees. We're at TGK. Natalia Zaya, CBS 4 News this morning.
Also this morning, we do have some new details about what police found inside a murdered football player's apartment. A search warrant obtained by our partners at the Miami Herald shows investigators took an assault rifle, a shotgun, and a semi-automatic handgun from Brian Patta's home in Kendall. Patta was gunned down 3 weeks ago today. Police have not found his killer. You can read more on the story in today's Miami Herald, or you can log on to miamiherald.com.
The state wants more time to file charges against former state representative Ralph Arza. His arraignment has been rescheduled for next month. Yesterday, attorneys for Arza and his cousin entered not guilty pleas. Both were arrested following a profanity-filled phone message left on State Representative Gus Barrero's cell phone.
A frightened 6-year-old in Fort Lauderdale is back with his family this morning after getting lost. Someone spotted the boy near a Winn-Dixie in the area of Northwest 16th Avenue and 4th Street. His mother had reported him missing, but to another police department. In all, it took about 2 hours for the family to be reunited.
Facing rising violence in Iraq and Afghanistan, President Bush opened a high-stakes diplomatic mission asking for more help from allies. This comes as some officials say Iraq is spiraling into a civil war. CBS 4's Susan Roberts has the latest on the story now from Washington, D.C.
Bound for the NATO summit, President Bush breezed through a stopover in Estonia on a trip that's building to a face-to-face meeting with Iraq's prime minister.
My questions to him will be, what do we need to do to succeed? What is your strategy in dealing with the sectarian violence?
The White House is rejecting suggestions Iraq is already in a civil war. Aboard Air Force One National Security Advisor Stephen Hadley would only say, we're clearly in a new phase characterized by this increasing sectarian violence. The Iraq Study Group has been busy discussing what to do next. Monday, the panel interviewed UN Secretary General Kofi Annan as he publicly warned that Iraq is on the brink of civil war.
Unless something is done drastically and urgently to arrest the deteriorating situation, we could be there. And in fact, we are almost there.
The bipartisan study group is expected to recommend the U.S. enlist the help of Iran and Syria. After meeting with Iran's president, Iraqi President Jalal Talabani said his country needs Iran's support to establish security and stability. Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki is expected to bring up relations with Iran and Syria at Wednesday's meeting with President Bush. The White House National Security Advisor has cautioned not to expect any finalized plans for a new Iraq strategy to come out of President Bush's meeting with Prime Minister al-Maliki. In Washington, Susan Roberts, CBS 4 News this morning.
And take a look at this new video this morning of Pope Benedict leaving Rome on his way to Turkey. It's the Pope's first trip to a Muslim country since his controversial comments 2 months ago, linking Islam to violence. Officials say security will be at an all-time high. On Sunday, hundreds gathered in the streets of Turkey to protest his arrival. More protests are expected today. The Pope says his 4-day trip is aimed at promoting dialogue and bridging the differences.
At 5:09 now, let's go ahead and take a look at news from across America. This morning, students attending a Huntsville, Alabama Technical Center will return to class. That campus was closed after a school bus full of students headed to the downtown building plunged over a highway last week. 4 students died. 2 students and the bus driver remain hospitalized. Authorities say the accident may have been caused by another student whose car appeared to hit the bus. The Lincoln Memorial is back open this morning. Yesterday, a mysterious liquid forced visitors out of the memorial. It was found in a women's restroom along with a note reading, "Do you know what anthrax is?" Authorities quickly determined there was no threat.
At 5:10 in sports today, we're hearing from Dolphins head coach Nick Saban about talk that he may be leaving town.
Well, here's the thing. The University of Alabama reportedly wanted Saban back on their team. CBS 4's Jim Barry reports.
Well, Nick Saban says the answer is a quick, flat no. He is not leaving the Dolphins and returning to the college ranks at the University of Alabama. The job is open, and the story started in Birmingham that had the Crimson Tide offering Saban the job. It is open since they fired Mike Shula just yesterday. His teams were so-so but never could whip arch-rival Auburn in the 4 years that Shula was there. Saban, of course, was a big college success at LSU, but now that he is in the pros and coaching a Dolphin team that is finally waking up, he says, why would he leave?
When I was in college, it was always about coming to the pros. You know, this is the challenge that I wanted. That I had a good college job, so why would I have left that if I would be going to be interested in other college jobs? You know, I took this as a challenge, and we certainly haven't seen this through and got where we want to go and finished the job here, so why would I be interested in something else?
Saban is in the second year of a 5-year deal with the Dolphins worth $5 million a season, something he certainly would not earn in Tuscaloosa. I'm Jim Barry, CBS 4 Sports This Morning.
And now happening today in the news, it's the 10th anniversary of a City of Miami Police Department program that helps children deal with violence. It's called the Teddy Bear Program. Officers were given teddy bears to hand out to any child they encountered who was a victim of abuse. Officers will collect a fresh batch of stuffed animals today at Bayfront Park to mark the anniversary, and that's at like 1 o'clock this afternoon.
I know kids love teddy bears. Makes them feel safe.
And secure.
5:12 is the time right now. Coming up here in less than 15 minutes, friends and family of high-ranking Miami-Dade Police Department officials earning top dollar for, quote, cushy jobs inside the department. Brian Andrews with why you might be surprised to hear how much they're making.
In less than 10 minutes this Tuesday, a warning if you're planning to buy some of your holiday gifts online.
All right, this morning, not really a warning, but you'll want to have your umbrella around the next couple of days. As the winds blow in, which way the temperature is going to go? We'll take a look at that. See you in just a minute.
And right after the break this morning, flu season is here. So why are companies talking about making less vaccines available next year? How to keep yourself flu bug free is next.
CBS 4 News Traffic is sponsored by Palmetto Ford. Why buy your truck from a car store? Palmetto Ford, your truck superstore. Give us a try before you buy. 305-592-FORD.
On the next Megan from Bones, it's David Boreanaz.
Put that on after the segment. Come to my dressing room.
Plus, actress Julianne Nicholson.
And I started crying. Like a big girl.
On the next Megan.
Today at 9 on CBS 4.
Still frustrated by your lower back or neck pain? An astonishing new DVD exposes why most doctors have no idea what to do when their patients suffer with lower back and neck pain. They try drugs and other ineffective treatments, hoping that someday the pain will go away, but it never does. Don't take another pill or even consider surgery until you get your free copy of the DVD that can change the way you can live life without back or neck pain. Call the toll-free 24-hour recorded message now at 800-245-0956.
Oh, I turn on the Roomba and it goes do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. I know that it's about to do a great service for me.
It is a full-featured robot.
It gets under the sofa.
While it's vacuuming, you can do something else.
Over 1 million people have discovered a remarkable new way to vacuum their floors. Try Roomba risk-free for 30 days.
This is the ultimate multitasking machine.
I love robots.
I love robots.
I love robots. The iRobot Roomba. And now there's another robot to love. Meet Scuba, the robot that mops.
On Donner, on Blitzen, on Comet and Cupid.
Yeah, you know, I only get the reindeer once a year. The rest of the time I drive. Santa doesn't like people that don't let him merge. Yeah, I just recently got the SunPass, and I'm really excited about having it. I like saving money, I must admit. SunPass allows you to save money when you go through the toll booth, so it pays for itself.
When you hear that little beep,
it's like Christmas.
Get the gift of SunPass at Publix or CVS Pharmacy.
Gwyneth Paltrow did it. So did Kate Blanchett. Now you could look and feel better in time for the new year.
I'm CBS 4's Beatrice Canals. I've been following the hottest new health program out there, created by Princess Diana's personal physician. See if it works when I test the 21-day detox diet.
Tonight at 5 and 11 on CBS 4 News. Morning with more news, weather, and traffic, and half the commercials.
All right, here we are at 5:15, and here's Pamela Wright with a look at our forecast. Good morning to you.
Hello there. A very nice couple of days lined up. At times, you'll say not so nice because some rain coming in on the breeze, but pretty spectacular, and will get more popular around the country as things really freeze up.
Nice.
Because there are not enough cars on the road around here now. All right, this morning let's take a look, and we will get a check on your roads, but very warm start for us on a November something. 74 outside of weather control in West Miami-Dade this morning, 71 at the airport, 77 in Fort Lauderdale, 77, almost 10 degrees above normal, 71 in Key West. It is at least still nice and dry, and that east wind is still coming in at 8 miles per hour. We'll check out the big picture across the country. High pressure for us, there it sits. We'll hold on to the easterly breeze around that high pressure then on the water and in the water. That's going to keep things pretty rough. Temperature-wise, not bad up into Chicago at 56. They won't argue with that. And yes, Billings, that's only a 3. And that's all it's going to be through most of the morning as this bitter cold air just now is beginning to spill into the northern plains. That's going to be the big story weather-wise across the country as far as the temperatures go. Look what our high pressure is doing for us. All the clouds and any of the moisture as far as any real storm activity goes, staying up and around us. What we're going to find as this also moves up to the north, all this moisture in the mid and upper levels, will be this return flow out of the east. So at times those showers line up, as you saw yesterday, and blow on in. There won't be a whole lot of them today, but you'll need to be ready for that the next couple of days, actually, having the umbrellas around. The true view shows the clouds sticking about through the afternoon. Brief showers tomorrow as the breeze stays strong once again with the high pressure around. A little later in the week, again, still on the breezy side, but that breeze even coming up a little more from the south, so on the muggy side as we move into December. And as we do, a cold front will be moving into Florida, but doesn't look like it's going to make it this far south for the weekend. So we will have a warm December start with a nice sun and cloud mix and mostly dry, looks like, for the upcoming weekend. 82 today with those passing showers and periods of sunshine. As on that easterly breeze, it'll deliver us quite a few clouds. Boaters, caution. Swimmers, rip currents. So not the best of situations out there. Stay a little closer in today, should be okay. Gulf Stream up to 6 feet. Couple of showers tonight. We'll find upper 60s inland with low 70s with that breeze coming in at the ocean. So they'll blow in today, spotty tomorrow at 82, 83 on Thursday, look at us, 84 on Friday, and no big change temperature-wise for the upcoming weekend. But at this point, it looks like we'll stay mostly dry. So that will all work out fine. And overnight lows, everything's staying about 5 degrees above normal.
It's humid out there, that's for sure.
83 on Thursday.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
80 degrees higher than it is in Billings right now.
Do you see? It's the kind of math we can do.
I can't imagine 3 degrees.
It is 5:19 right now. Let's imagine the roads clear and crisp this morning.
Say
that too loud, they might hear you and all come down, so don't say that too loud. Anyway, we've still got some problems right now on Atlantic Boulevard, eastbound, right around 441. Still got some partial lane blockage, just a little investigation going on from the accident yesterday. Still may want to think about Cypress Creek or Copans as your alternate, but 95, Sawgrass, everything's still running real nice right now. Also taking a look at the Palmetto Expressway. If you're heading northbound or southbound right now, you've got a real easy ride ahead of you. No real delays in either direction. Your northbound lanes here into the big curve, still looking like a real smooth commute. Southbound, we have not seen any buildup just yet. We're probably going to be changing here shortly. And taking also a look at 95, north and southbound around the Golden Glades. Kind of a close-up shot, but everything out there is looking real nice. I'm Mark Henry, CBS 4 News, Traffic Control.
19 minutes after 5 o'clock the time. Let's go ahead and open up Dr. Sean's medical file this morning. Scientists are saying a new type of ultrasound is highly effective at determining if a breast lump is cancerous or harmless. It's called elasticity imaging, and in a small test, it was nearly perfect at correctly diagnosing the patient. Doctors say one day the device may actually eliminate the need for many biopsies.
Federal health officials are reminding people to get their flu shot. They say if vaccines go to waste this year, companies say that manufacturers may not make as much of the vaccine next year. The flu season doesn't peak until February, and there's more than enough vaccine to go around out there right now. A record 110 million shots are expected to be available this year.
A new 20-year study shows that it may not be beneficial for smokers to cut back on the habit. Instead, they will have to kick the habit altogether to reap the benefits. Researchers say even cutting back by half or more simply is not enough to impact cardiovascular disease, cancers, and other smoking-related illnesses. So once again, officials are saying to lower the risk, you have to quit cold turkey.
In our Sunshine's Consumer Alert this morning, Walmart is expected to expand its $4 drug program across the country now. Walmart kicked off the discount program for generic prescriptions right here in Florida back in September, with initial plans to expand it to other states by January, but it moved up those plans after rivals Target and BJ's Wholesale launched similar programs. The holidays are the busiest time for internet scam artists. A survey conducted last month shows 1 in 10 people have been victimized while shopping online. Experts want you to stay away from online promises, especially this time of year, for items that are sold out in stores like the new PlayStation 3 or Nintendo's rival game console, Wii.
All right. Well, 5:21 is the time right now. Today's Rachel Ray tip takes the guesswork out of slicing your favorite meats, from stir fries to pepper steak. She is walking you through the safe way to slice through anything fast.
Hey everybody, Rach here with a great tip on how to safely, thinly slice any meat. When you bring it home from the store, pop it in the freezer until it starts to firm up, like 15-20 minutes. Now it's perfect next time you want to make stir fry or maybe a nice beef stroganoff. Look at the consistency here. Pop it in the freezer for 15-20 minutes and you can slice it thin enough to read the newspaper through it. Works great on chicken too. It's a fantastic tip to double up on next time you want to thinly, safely slice soft cheese like a fresh mozzarella.
And remember, you can catch Rachel Ray right here on CBS 4 weekdays at 3 o'clock, followed by Oprah at 4 o'clock, and then, of course, the CBS 4 News first at 5.
It is 5:22 right now. All new coming up at 5:30. The shocking find a mother made online. You have to hear this one. She discovered someone put her son up for sale, who police say was behind it.
But first, some say they're getting paid big money for a, quote, cushy assignment. CBS 4's Brian Andrews then covers new details about the friends and family of high-ranking Miami-Dade police officers next.
Right now, here's a look at the numbers from Wall Street. This is CBS 4 News This Morning with half the commercials. Keep watching.
Did you know that almost 50% of student success is determined by teaching quality? I'm CBS 4's Rob Hanrahan. One of the greatest challenges for our community is recruiting, retaining, and rewarding the best teachers. The Education Fund's Great American Teach-a-thon highlights the critical role that teaching plays. All this month, you can help. Stop by any Washington Mutual Financial Center and donate directly to the Teach-a-thon. Support the teaching profession. It's the key to our future. And join the Teach-a-thon!
Oh, I turn on the Roomba and it goes do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. I know that it's about to do a great service for me.
It is a full-featured robot.
It gets under the sofa.
While it's vacuuming, you can do something else.
Over 1 million people have discovered a remarkable new way to vacuum their floors. Try Roomba risk-free for 30 days.
This is the ultimate multitasking machine.
I love robots.
I love robots.
I love robots. The iRobot Roomba. And now there's another robot to love. Meet Scuba, the robot that mops.
PJ is a single girl living in Chicago. She has great friends.
What do you guys think?
Fantastic.
I like the jacket. It's a good choice.
Nice hat.
You guys are useless.
Who are all guys. TBS presents a new comedy about the thrill of victory and the agony of dating.
You got the girl booty call.
Booty calls are not worth it. It's the one thing you learn as you get older.
That's the one thing?
My Boys, a TBS original comedy. Check your local listings or log on to TBS.com.
On Donner, on Blitzen, on Comet and Cupid.
Yeah, you know, I only get the reindeer once a year. The rest of the time I drive. Santa doesn't like people that don't let him merge. Yeah, I just recently got the Sun Pass, and I'm really excited about having it. I like saving money, I must admit. Sun Pass allows you to save money when you go through the toll booth, so it pays for itself.
When you hear that little beep,
it's like Christmas.
Get the gift of Sun Pass at Publix or CVS Pharmacy.
This traffic report is brought to you by Miami-Dade Expressway Authority, MDX, delivering improved mobility for you.
It's day 2 of our trade-off, and get this, I'm baking.
Today at 3 on 4.
5:25 is the time right now. This morning we've got some new information on an exclusive CBS 4 I-Team investigation. We're talking about the allegations that we exposed earlier this month about relatives of high-ranking police employees taking home big bucks. That's raising eyebrows from police stations to County Hall.
It was part of what some call a plum assignment at the Miami-Dade Police Training Bureau. CBS 4 I-Team investigator Brian Andrews has what we've uncovered about friends and family on the force.
We have new information on the investigation we first told you about, including who's making what and who's investigating who.
This is as close as we could get to the Miami-Dade Police Training Bureau. The department declined our requests to pay a visit to videotape the premises and wouldn't let us drive through the front gate. From the air, you can see a sprawling complex, complete with a shooting range and an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Jobs at this training bureau, considered by some to be a cush assignment, are the focus of a county probe to determine if nepotism played a role in certain assignments. While the complaints of nepotism and racism in the Miami-Dade Police Department come from anonymous letters sent to Commissioners Joe Martinez, Rebecca Sosa, and our news organization, County Manager George Burgess says he wants a full review of each issue raised, adding there are extremely serious allegations involved. In a memo to Assistant County Manager Alina Hudak, Employee Relations Director Don Allen, and Corrections Lawyer Tyrone Williams, the manager says, I want you to make this review a top priority.
In light of the allegations that came up, I think it should be an outside agency.
But Commissioner Joe Martinez tells me he's concerned this panel is not the right choice.
The background for investigations, that they don't have it, being county employees and gaining access to some things, I don't think they'll be able to achieve that.
The allegations of nepotism focus on the Training Bureau, which the anonymous letters refer to as the Friends and Family Training Bureau. Who's employed there? Lieutenant Veronica Parker, the wife of Police Director Robert Parker. County records say she makes $88,076 a year and gets overtime. The Parker's son also works there, Robert Parker Jr., a recent hire, making $11.32 an hour doing data entry. Also employed there, longtime Police Lieutenant Evelyn Fernandez, the mayor's girlfriend, making $84,798 a year plus overtime. And the mayor's son, Michael Alvarez, making $66,724,000 annually as an administrative officer.
Does the situation there pass the smell test?
Not from what I read.
Also working at the training bureau, Anna Taylor, wife of former police director Fred Taylor, a part-time training specialist making $18.65 an hour. Carol Patterson, wife of assistant director J.D. Patterson, a full-time training specialist making $40,082 a year. And Alexis Smith, daughter of Division Chief Ricky Smith. She earns $26,677 a year doing data entry. And Vanessa Atherley, daughter of Assistant Director Bob Holden. She makes $76,238 a year. Miami-Dade Police spokeswoman Linda O'Brien, who spoke to us for our first report on the probe, declined our request for a second interview, saying the department will speak again on the matter once the probe is complete. Mayor Carlos Alvarez also declined to speak to us after we made numerous requests. His spokesperson giving us this statement instead, saying the mayor feels strongly that any and all allegations should be thoroughly investigated.
Why should someone care if there is favoritism, cronyism, or nepotism in the Miami-Dade Police Department? Why should we care?
Well,
it happens everywhere, right?
It shouldn't. It does. It shouldn't. But it's a culture there. You are held to a higher standard. So that's why it's extremely important that these allegations come out crystal clear.
The head of the County Ethics Commission tells me that he too has received several letters with allegations against the Miami-Dade Police Department in recent weeks. He says he's going to wait and see the report from the county manager's panel before starting his own investigation into the allegations. I'm Brian Andrews, CBS 4 News.
The time right now, 5:29. All new for you at 5:30 this morning. A fight at a Miami-Dade high school ends with one student airlifted to the hospital. What started this conflict in the first place?
A fatal fire at a group home. Take a look. It has investigators asking questions today why police suspect foul play.
Celebrating the holidays left one Washington State family in need of some major help. How they survived a weekend in the woods.
A new half hour of CBS 4 News this morning with more news, weather, and traffic. And half the commercials starts right now.
Now, live. This is CBS 4 News This Morning.
It is 5:30. It's Tuesday, November 28th. Good morning to you, South Florida. Good to be with you. I'm Danielle Knox.
Yes, and I'm George Estevez. On this Tuesday morning, let's find out what it's like outside, because Monday's over, so now you're actually in the midst of the work week.
The midst to me is Wednesday.
This is midst for me.
Pamela, what is midst for you?
I'm choking to death over here, so maybe the mitts just hit me. All right, you know what? Yes. Well, hopefully you're over the hump now. You've done it, gone back to work and school from the long holiday weekend. Or actually, some schools just go back today, so we're still getting back into the groove here. It is a warm November morning. On average, about 65 is where we are this time of morning, this time of year. What are we finding out there right now? Any 65s on the map? Well, certainly not in Broward County. You're a good 10, 11, 12 degrees above that this morning, so a really warm start out there, and we continue with those temperatures elevated as we move down to the south. 72 in Homestead. Now West Kendall, the only one behaving as it should, and that's scary, right? 62 there this morning, but most of us in the low to mid 70s. We still are holding on to our strong easterly breeze. That is going to lead to the likelihood of rip currents forming out in the ocean, so be very careful if you are out swimming today. About 7 a.m. our low tide, and then later on this evening, so at least maybe not the most popular times. Okay, it is 72 in Key West. I just want you to know that right now. And we do find 60s throughout the state, so it's very mild for everybody. We have high pressure in control, so that's your flow right there, and that's keeping all this mess out of here. As for our shower chance, well, the way the winds are going to blow in, certainly on the breeze, a shower could come flying on through. So be ready for that today. All right, we don't want anybody flying, but Mark Henry, hopefully some movement on the road would be a good thing.
Yep, and we've got a lot of that right now. Actually, everything's looking okay out there right now. 95 north and southbound around Griffin Road, not doing too bad. But if you're heading southbound, right around Davie Boulevard, you're going to find one lane is shut down due to some construction. Not really tying things up. Pretty lightly traveled out there so far this morning. Now 95 northbound coming out of Hollywood heading up toward the airport. Starting to see a little bit more activity through the area, but still nothing to really slow you down too much. Also taking a look at the Palmetto Expressway right now. If you're heading southbound toward the airport, no real problems right now coming out of the big curve all the way down to MIA, actually down to the Dolphin. You still got a real easy ride, and if you're heading northbound, real smooth commute for you all the way up into the Big Curve area. Now taking a look at 95 north and southbound around the Golden Glades interchange, things starting to get a little bit heavier as you're moving northbound. This is right around Opelika Boulevard here, heading northbound into the Golden Glades. You might want to give yourself just a little bit of extra time. Your southbound lanes, though, getting by without any delays at all. I'm Mark Henry, CBS 4 News Traffic Control.
Now a quick look at some of our top stories today at 5:33. This morning, a local family is torn apart after their mother was killed at a bus stop. Lormicia Hyanensis was a mother to 7 and a grandmother to 9 children. She died when the truck plowed into the bus stop she was waiting at on 441 and Atlantic Boulevard. Investigators are trying to figure out why the truck driver, 41-year-old Mark Guarino, lost control. He was released from the hospital late last night.
Saddam Hussein's genocide trial continues today in Baghdad. Saddam and 6 other former members of his regime have pleaded innocent to charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity for their role in the military offensive against the Kurds. Saddam already faces hanging for the deaths of more than 140 Shiite Muslims.
Dolphins head coach Nick Saban shot down rumors that he will be leaving for the University of Alabama. A story coming out of Birmingham had the Crimson Tide offering Saban its head coaching job. That job became available because Mike Shula, son of Don, was fired after 4 seasons. Saban used to coach at Louisiana State University.
Well, this morning we are hearing the details of just a violent school fight that sent a teenager to the hospital.
Witnesses say another boy went as far as to smash the 17-year-old's head against the concrete. CBS 4's Tiffany Hellberg has more.
Feel hurt because I'm trying to, feel what he's feeling, and at the same time trying to figure out, why this was done to my brother.
Veronica Verdoza waits and prays as her 17-year-old brother lies in a hospital bed here at Ryder Trauma Center after medics airlifted him there just after 2 p.m.
You have so many mixed emotions. You don't know really what to feel because it's my brother laying there, it's my brother the one that's hurt, and at the same time, you're like wondering who would possibly want to do something like this. You know what I'm saying? What kind of anger would put that person to want to, hurt somebody that bad.
Students say another 17-year-old boy continuously pummeled Veronica's brother and what they say began as a tiff over a girl in the hallway at South Dade High School.
The boy just kept hitting him in his face and hit him in his stomach.
I just seen him hit the bench, and then they said that they kicked him in the face or something like that.
The boy took his foot and stomped his head on the ground.
The beating left Veronica's brother bruised all over his face and bleeding from the head. His alleged attacker now under arrest, facing felony assault charges.
I'm glad. He needs to, learn his lesson that that's not how you solve problems.
The alleged aggressor could have to face more than just criminal charges. He might also face expulsion from school. At the Ryder Trauma Center, Tiffany Hellberg, CBS 4 News this morning.
The time right now, 5:36. We do have some new details this morning on a rollover accident that we brought you live yesterday morning. We have learned that accident killed a mother and left her husband and their daughter fighting for their lives. The 43-year-old woman was driving southbound on the turnpike when she lost control of her SUV near Griffin Road. She slammed into the median, winding up in the northbound lanes. That woman was ejected and died instantly. Her husband and their 17-year-old daughter are in the hospital.
It's 5:36 right now. Florida's governor is speaking out against a judge after CBS 4's investigation, The Forgotten Floor, examined the treatment of inmates with mental illness. The Department of Children and Families has said they do not have the room to care for about 300 men and women being held behind bars. In response to that, a Florida judge threatened to hold the head of the DCF in contempt and throw her behind bars. Governor Jeb Bush says that's not the way to handle this.
With all due respect to judges pounding their chest in their big black robes up on top of a big chair, looking down and castigating Secretary Haiti, they're not governor, they're not the secretary, they're not the legislature. There is a separation of powers, and I just, I'm not a lawyer, but I do think that there's an appropriate role of the judiciary, and I think that some of the temper tantrums that have taken place have gone too far.
Friday, the DCF announced $5 million in new funding to open up 85 beds for inmates with severe mental illness.
5:37 is the time right now, and this morning we are hearing from the Reverend Al Sharpton, who is calling for action after a police shooting in New York City. Officers there fired 50 times at a groom just hours before his wedding. CBS 4's Jennifer Santiago reports.
Little yellow cards mark the spots where empty bullet casings litter a Queens, New York street. They number 50. 2 candles flicker outside the nearby strip club, just 1 block from the site of a fatal and controversial police-involved shooting. 23-year-old Sean Bell was supposed to marry the mother of his 2 children over the weekend. He and 2 friends planned a bachelor's party at the Kahlua Club. Instead, they, though unarmed, were shot by undercover cops Saturday morning. Sean Bell died the day of his wedding. His friend, seen here on the ground and bleeding from gunshot wounds to the legs, tried to run from police, thinking they had been ambushed in a drive-by. But this was a police ambush. Commissioner Ray Kelly saying the police shot at the car after it drove forward and struck an undercover officer. But hundreds of New Yorkers, particularly those in the African-American community, aren't buying it.
How many shots? 50.
Al Sharpton led a rally at the hospital where the 2 survivors are recovering. In protest, they called for the resignation of New York City Police Commissioner Ray Kelly.
I hear a gunshot, a pause, and then just more gunshots, like if it was a machine gun going off, like ba, 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 ba.
Folks in this Queens neighborhood all say they called police when they heard shots fired, not realizing, of course, that the very people from whom they sought protection were the ones involved in the shooting. Jennifer Santiago, CBS 4 News.
And we want to add here this morning, the FBI is now investigating, and all police officers involved in the situation were put on administrative leave while a grand jury investigates, and they also had to surrender their weapons.
Now let's take a look at news from across America this morning. We start in Missouri. The governor there says officials are treating a deadly fire at a group home for the elderly and mentally ill as a crime. Take a look here. 10 people were killed in this fire that reduced the building to just cinder blocks. The flame started in the middle of the night in a rural community in the Ozarks. The building had fire alarms but no sprinklers. Another 24 were rushed to the hospital. The governor is not saying at this point why this fire is being considered a crime. In Oregon, it was a happy ending for a family missing for days. The family of 6 went on a Christmas tree cutting trip Saturday and got lost when it started to snow. Officials found the family huddled in their pickup truck early Monday morning. Cold and hungry, but okay.
Warm, we have plenty of gas. We had fruit and some old Halloween candy to eat, so thank God for Halloween, but we're just glad to be home.
Rescue crews looked for this family since Saturday when they didn't make it back home.
5:40 is the time right now. A Pensacola woman just could not believe what she saw on a popular website. She logged on to Craigslist and found her own son was up for sale. The mother immediately called police and they tracked the advertisement down to the child's father. The couple is split up. Now he's in California. His soon-to-be ex-wife and son are here in Florida. That man cannot be charged by authorities in Florida because he is out of their jurisdiction. The boy is with his mother during this very nasty custody battle.
I mean, I get that he's probably trying to get his mother's attention, but wow, with everything going on out there, that's
just unimaginable that you would put your child up for sale. And again, even if it's just a ploy, that just is hard to imagine. 5:41 is the time right now. You know, for years, Beatles fans could only get their favorite Fab 4 albums at a record store. Coming up, see why they won't be crying help for much longer.
Also, check out how a trip to the salon ended up in the record books.
I think I've had one of those trips. All right, you know what? Hard to do the old do this week. A little breezy, a little humid for November. We'll peek into December and see if things shape up around here. All right, see you in just a minute.
Pamela, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take a look at school lunches for Miami-Dade and Broward County students. What are you going to have in Miami, George?
Plátanos maduros.
Okay, no arroz con pollo.
No.
Okay.
And Broward?
Let me go with the garlic breadsticks.
That's it?
I need the carbs.
You need protein, too.
Well, you know what? Maybe the tuna salad without the bun.
We'll be right back.
CBS 4 News Traffic is sponsored by Palmetto Ford. Great prices, great people, great service for over 40 years. Give us a try before you buy. 305-592-FORD.
It's Happy Honda Days, and what better way to cruise through the holidays than in a spacious and comfortable Honda Pilot? Now's the perfect time to save on the most fuel-efficient 8-passenger SUV in America, which means you can haul the whole gang and a lot of holiday cheer for less than you think. Go see your Honda dealer, because they've got a Pilot with your name on it. Happy Honda Days. Lease a Honda Pilot for $299 a month for well-qualified customers.
You gotta love this place. Ashley Furniture Home Store, the fastest growing furniture retailer in America, is now open throughout South Florida. We're gonna love this place. Now you'll be able to purchase the #1 selling home furniture brand in America at true Ashley Direct prices. Plus, during our grand opening, you'll enjoy no interest until 2010 and next day delivery. This is one grand opening you can't afford to miss. Ashley Furniture Home Store. You're gonna love this place.
If you haven't found a Medicare Part D plan that's right for you, or if you've been thinking of shopping around because of higher premiums, check out the new AARP Medicare RX Plan Saver. Premiums start at less than 45 cents a day. The AARP Medicare RX Plan Saver drug list includes all the brand name drugs or their generic version covered by Medicare Part D. And like all three AARP Medicare RX plans, the new Saver plan was designed for long-term stability, so you can count on the same prescription drug list all year long. The new 2007 AARP Medicare RX Plan Saver is available to anyone eligible for Medicare, and you may even qualify for extra help if you're on a limited income. The new 2007 AARP Medicare RX Plan Saver is one of 3 Medicare Part D plans exclusively endorsed by AARP. Call now for information about enrolling, which you only have until December 31st of this year.
I'm PGA golfer Scott Verplank, and when I'm not on the course, I work in partnership with Novo Nordisk to help educate and inspire people like myself living with diabetes. The statistics are staggering. 1 out of every 3 children born in the year 2000 will develop type 2 diabetes. We need to help keep our children active and give them good eating habits that will last a lifetime. You ready? Together, we can change this statistic. Log on to diabetesaware.com for more information. Novo Nordisk, changing diabetes.
It is my first movie with Julia Roberts. Next, Oprah.
All right, take a look at this. A hairstylist in Peru put a lot of hairspray bottles and bobby pins to use, attempting to break a world record.
Hairstylist Amparo Jaura entered the Guinness Book of World Records by creating the world's biggest hairdo.
Look at that.
The 80s would be so proud.
Yes.
It took about 10 stylists to do it. The big beehive dude towers about 6 feet high. He says he was actually inspired by the fashion of 17th century France.
Makes sense, but you know, poor model. I'm sure that she has to have a neck brace on because I don't think that she can move her head.
Yeah, so it can't. It's not all her hair.
I'm
I'm
sure
assuming it's
all kinds of.
I thought it was the ode to Marge Simpson. Did you see that? Only it had been blue. Right.
Imagine washing that. There's an excuse to get out of a date.
Yeah. All right, Pamela, right.
It was the old-fashioned excuse, wasn't it?
Humidity would ruin that do, though, I think.
No doubt about it. Yeah. You know what? It's starting to creep back up there, but even, you know, this time of year, it's going to be bearable as far as the humidity goes.
Okay.
It's not going to be too bad. We do need to talk about some showers coming in and some other stuff. Let's take a look. Yesterday, the first part of the day stayed a little more on the gray side, and then things brightened up. This morning, we're doing okay. We don't see too much rain around. 74 right here outside of, that'd be weather control where I work in West Miami-Dade. 77 in Fort Lauderdale. Our warm spot, once again, in 71 in Miami and all the way down to the lovely Key West. It is nice and dry on the stickiness scale, but the way that breeze is coming in and blowing in a few showers at times, it does certainly feel a little muggy out there for November especially. But we're okay on the radar this morning. Not as much rain as yesterday morning, and it's going to be very hit and miss over the next few days. The breeze today continues to build once again, especially near the coast, downright windy there. So with that, rough conditions out on the bay certainly to be expected, and a high risk of rip currents. So you don't want to get caught out in that if you're out swimming, and it will be warm enough over the next few days to make you want to go to the beach. Breezy showers, a couple of those blowing in, but nice and warm today, getting into the lower 80s, upper 70s, certainly more the norm. Here we are tomorrow, warm, breezy again with a couple of quickie showers coming through. Maybe a better chance for a shower towards the end of the week. But again, with the way the winds are going to stay sort of strong, they shouldn't last too long. This cold front, well, it's going to head southward and park it to our north, so we'll stay warm with just a spotty shower or two into the upcoming weekend. 82 today, not bad. Periods of sunshine at times. Those clouds are kind of thick blowing in on the easterly breeze. Seas mostly at 2 to 4, but up to 6 feet in the Gulf Stream with that easterly breeze at 15 to 20 knots, so pretty strong out there. Stays pretty warm tonight, 73 near the beaches, couple of upper 60s inland if we're lucky. That's as low as we'll go. The numbers continue to go up a bit into Friday and stay up for the weekend. Plenty warm, at least some passing showers on the breeze. We have to count that in. And really, any rain we can get this time of year is kind of bonus times. And it's been so dry. So no real complaints over the next couple of days. And we will officially end hurricane season.
That is so hard.
I'm still tiptoeing.
Yes, well,
She like whispered that.
yeah, I did. Moment of silence.
All right, Pamela. 5:49 right now. Let's check the roads. Here's Mark Henry.
Hey, good morning. Well, we still have some problems right now with some delays on Atlantic Boulevard. If you're heading eastbound, right around 441, still some police activity going on here from the accident yesterday. A little bit of cleanup happening, unfortunately, but you still may want to think about Cypress Creek or Copans as your alternate through that area. Now, 95 and Sawgrass still running real clear through the area. No real problems there. Also taking a look right now at 95 north and southbound right around Griffin Road. You got a real easy ride from the airport all the way down into the Hollywood area. No real problems there. Now, if you're coming northbound from Hollywood into the airport area, still have a real smooth ride, so just give yourself plenty of extra time through the area and just enjoy the ride so far this morning. Now on the Palmetto Expressway, things are starting to see a little bit more activity. If you're heading southbound, give yourself just a little bit of extra time through the area. If you're heading northbound, approaching the big curve, no problems, no delays. I'm Mark Henry, CBS 4 News Traffic Control.
At 5:50 in today's Money Watch, Walmart is hoping to tap into Mexico's booming consumer loan market.
That's right. The mega retailer plans to open its own Mexican bank in the second half of next year. Right now, Mexican banks are enjoying a boom in consumer lending thanks to low interest rates and a growing economy.
This morning, oil prices are up more than $1 a barrel. The surge comes on the heels of a cold front hitting the Northeast and more production cuts by OPEC. Last month, the cartel agreed to cut output by as much as 1.2 million barrels a day. But there are doubts whether OPEC members will keep to that agreement.
Apple could soon be close to a deal with the Beatles to add the Fab Four catalog to the offerings on iTunes. Fortune magazine reports the online music store right now is working out an exclusive deal to add Beatles songs to its library for a limited time. For years, Apple and its competitors have been vying for the opportunity to sell Beatle downloads.
In our Eye on Entertainment this morning, yes, rocker Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson are calling it quits. Both have filed for divorce now, with Pamela citing irreconcilable differences. She's also requesting that Kid Rock pay her legal fees. Anderson says they broke up before Thanksgiving. He says they broke up after Thanksgiving. Either way, it's pretty clear they're not going to be spending Christmas together, regardless of when
nor
they
the
broke
new
up.
year. Well, you know what? While couples are separating, there are other friendships that are forming. Britney Spears and Paris Hilton are apparently new BFFs, best friends forever. But that's not all. Now it looks like Lindsay Lohan is joining the crew. The three amigas have at least one thing in common. Here's the deal. Paris' sister got married in Vegas. Britney herself got married in Vegas. And Lindsay says she wants a quickie wedding in Sin City as well. Two of those ladies, though, got divorced rather quickly after their wedding in Vegas. So, Lindsay, take heed.
Yeah, some quickie marriages for them. It is 5:52 right now. You're not going to want to miss a whole new hour of CBS 4 News this morning, because coming up at 6:07, you should know if a sex offender is living in your community. What CBS 4's Lori Stein uncovered.
And then at 6:41, a store clerk is stabbed behind the counter, and the whole thing is caught on camera. And you might be surprised to see what customers did during this attack.
Also at 6:48, trying to avoid a cold, our own Dr. Sean Kniff shows you what you need to know to keep the sniffles away. Those stories are all new. And if you can't wait, just log on to CBS4.com when you get to work. The news is always on.
Just ahead for you here in the 5 o'clock hour, finding that perfect gift can be pretty tough. So, how a goat is the gift that keeps on giving? Next.
If you you see news in the making, dial star CBS 4 on your Metro PCS cellular phone. The CBS 4 News Tip Line is sponsored by Metro PCS. Permission to speak freely.
Dents, dings, fender bender, rear ender, whatever. Even a little hit's a big deal. But at Maaco, a big deal means a great deal, especially if you're paying out of your pocket for repairs. An independent study confirms that, on average, Maaco repairs cost 33% less than at body shops and car dealers. Maaco gets the job done fast, at a great price, and guarantees a seamless repair. Little hits, no big deal, just a great deal. But only at Maaco, the Cosmolision specialist.
No matter how hard I scrubbed and scrubbed, stains like limescale buildup and these rust stains just would not go away. Talk about frustrating. That's why now I only use Lime-A-Way. Lime-A-Way is specially formulated to tackle hard water buildup, tough rust stains, and gritty limescale, indoors and out. Watch it dissolve this solid limescale right before your eyes. All around your house. For lime, calcium, and rust, Lime-A-Way is a must. Now in a new trigger formula. Works even better on limescale.
'Tis the season for happy Honda days. And what better way to celebrate than to save on your favorite Honda? Like the best overall value Accord, the rugged Ridgeline, the fuel-efficient 8-passenger Pilot. They're all just waiting for you at your Honda dealer. A brand new Honda will definitely put you in the holiday spirit. Happy Honda days. Lease a Honda Accord for $249 a month for well-qualified customers.
Oh, I turn on the Roomba and it goes do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. I know that it's about to do a great service for me.
It is a full-featured Roomba.
It gets under the sofa.
While it's vacuuming, you can do something else.
Over 1 million people have discovered a remarkable new way to vacuum their floors. Try Roomba risk-free for 30 days.
This is the ultimate multitasking machine. I love robots.
I love robots.
I love robots. The iRobot Roomba. And now there's another robot to love. Meet Scuba, the robot that mops.
Investigating how you could be poisoned by your home. Wednesday at 5 and 11 on 4.
Well, with holiday shopping in full gear, we are serving up a dish that is sure to satisfy your appetite.
It's a quick and easy recipe the whole family is sure to enjoy. Today's tasty dish is south of the border stew.
The holiday rush is on, but our day-to-day lives still continue, and that means we'll need to get dinner on the table. And eating out is an expensive option, especially with all the spending we do this time of year. So here's a hearty everything in one pot that'll fill us up without emptying our wallets. Here, using any brands at all, in a soup pot, in a couple tablespoons of vegetable oil, medium-high heat, we brown 2 pounds of boneless beef round or chuck that we've cut into 1-inch pieces. Then stir in a cup of thick and chunky medium salsa, a can of ready-to-use beef broth, and a half teaspoon of salt. You bring it to a boil, then you cover it and you let it simmer on a low heat about an hour till the beef is tender. Okay, we stir in 2 cut-up zucchini, a rinsed and drained can of black beans, and a cup of frozen corn. You cook it 15 minutes more, stir in a couple tablespoons of cornstarch that we dissolved in some water to thicken up the sauce, and that's it. And here's a tip I use. Make it the night before, maybe while we're wrapping gifts. You see, it'll cook itself stovetop, and the flavors will marry overnight. Then you simply warm it up when the gang comes rushing in for a south-of-the-border fork-tender stew that'll pair up with nice crusty bread or rolls, you know, to soak up the zesty sauce. Look, if you'd like the recipe, it's online or at mrfood.com, or send a self-addressed stamped envelope marked South-of-the-Border Stew to me, Mr. Food, here at the station, for a home-cooked meal that cooks itself. This time of year, time is money. And with this one, we can save both. Ooh, it's so good.
What was that?
I think it was a chuckle. At least that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it wasn't a burp. But Mark Henry, 557. You go ahead and check out.
Anyway, everything looking pretty nice out there right now. 95 north and southbound around Griffin. Still pretty easy ride out there, but we're starting to see a little bit more activity as you approach the airport. Same thing on the Palmetto Expressway right now. Heading southbound, a little bit more activity there, but still pretty easy ride. Now we're going to take a look at some drive times for you before you head on out the door. Taking a look at 595 if you're heading eastbound, 75 to 95 is going to take you about 15 minutes. South Dixie Highway northbound between Kendall Drive and 95, about 18 minutes. In the Palmetto, still pretty easy ride. Southbound, 75 to the Dolphin, going to run you about 8 minutes. I'm Mark Henry, CBS 4 News Traffic Control.
Wondering what to get that special someone who has everything this holiday season?
An Oregon woman has a suggestion for you, one that can make a huge difference for a family half a world away. CBS 4's Andy Peterson reports.
As the holidays roll around, many folks are taking time to consider those less fortunate than themselves. But who knew that you could help a family half a world away with just a few bucks and a goat.
2 dairy goats, 2 high-producing dairy goats can create a whole economy for a family. It's access to better nutrition, to a little bit of income, which leads to a little bit of, the family can begin to get medical care, maybe the children can go to school.
Hill is working with Heifer International, a group that places farm animals with hungry families in impoverished countries. Through her website, projectlivestock.com, she hopes to raise enough money to buy 2 goats for each of 25 families.
The goats will have their kids, they'll begin milking, the family will begin milking, the neighbor kids show up with a cup at milking time.
Goat's milk is the universal mother. You can raise anything on goat's milk because it is so digestible. People in third world countries that cannot tolerate cow's milk without becoming ill can drink goat's milk.
Sherry Reyna knows a thing or two about the value of goat's milk. She's been breeding goats for more than 3 decades on her farm in Lowell, reaching a point where her goats are producing milk more efficiently than most others.
They are the ones that often also go into third world countries and and sire a bunch of very valuable kids with a lot more milk production.
Becky Hill's fundraising efforts will go to purchase goats that Heifer International is breeding abroad. And depending on how much help she can get from the community, she says, she looks forward to helping families she's never met, 2 goats at a time.
It's really easy to look at all the problems in the world and feel overwhelmed, feel like you can't really make a difference. And the idea of helping one family at a time, being able to really make a difference in one family's life, just is, very inspiring.
I'm Andy Peterson in Lowell.
What a great story. Wonderful thing to get kids involved in, too.
So helpful for so many families,
the world away. 6 o'clock on the dot is the time right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stories we're working on for this hour. First this morning, a South Florida family faces a devastating loss after a mother of 7 dies in a horrifying bus crash.
And the accident cleanup is already finished, but the grieving is just beginning for that family. I'm Yusela Ramirez in Margate. We'll have all the details for you up next.
The details to this story: the man who held SWAT teams at bay for more than 3 hours at the Miami Herald building Friday is out of jail. There he is, where authorities were called back to that building, though.
And you should know if a sex offender is living in your community. This morning, what Lori Stein uncovered when she went looking for South Florida's missing sex offenders.
Is Nick Saban heading back to school? Your Dolphin station has the details on who's after the Fins head coach.
Well, you head out to school with temperatures this morning about 10 degrees above normal. We've flip-flopped this week. We'll take a look into December and see what's up, including the temperatures. See you in a minute.
All right, Thelma, thanks. Your news with half the commercials starts now.
Now, live. This is CBS 4 News This Morning.
It is 6:01, Tuesday, November 28th. Good morning to you, South Florida. Good to be with you. I'm Danielle Knox.
And I'm George Estevez. Let's start you off this hour with a look at weather. Here's Pamela Wright.
Hi there. Good morning. Still looks pretty dark out there, and we're not going to see too many clouds to get us going or too many showers, so that's a good thing. It is a warm November morning. About 65 would be our norm. Oh, no, leave it to us. Temperatures well above that. In fact, especially near the beaches in Broward County, finding temperatures in the upper 70s to get us going this morning. About 79 would be our normal high, so it is really going to be quite warm, but pretty pleasant. Certainly tough to complain about warm temperatures this time of year, and we will look comparatively across the country and hopefully appreciate them even more. All right, on the breeze today, which will stay pretty strong, especially at the beaches, we are going to likely have a few showers passing on by, and in fact that rain chance looks like it might go up a little bit in the next day or two, so we'll talk about that. High pressure around here, that's what's giving us that easterly breeze and keeping things relatively warm throughout throughout the eastern half of the country. It's the haves and the have-nots, and they have coats and big ones and need them across the northern plains. What we will have with that high pressure is overall pretty glorious weather. On the breezy side, I guess the downside would be on and near the water, so we'll talk about that. But overall, beautiful, 82 for a high temperature today, and the showers shouldn't last very long, so just give them a minute if you get caught out there. All right, see you in a little bit. We need to get you to work this morning, and Mark Henry's going to help us out. How's it moving?
Well, things are actually looking pretty good out there so far this morning, Pamela. Taking a look, 95, this is northbound and southbound around Griffin Road. Southbound lanes heading into Hollywood, still pretty easy ride for you. Even northbound lanes, you start to see a little bit more activity, but still nothing that's going to slow you down too much through the area. Just give yourself a little bit extra time. If you're heading toward the airport, you'd be just fine at this time. Now, 95 north and southbound around the Golden Glades interchange, start to see a little bit more activity in the southbound lanes between 151st and 79th Street. Now, if you're heading northbound, pretty much from Opelika on down to the Golden Glades interchange itself, pretty easy ride, but a little bit more activity through the Opelika area. Also on the Palmetto Expressway, I think starting to see a little bit more activity heading southbound, pretty much from 122nd down to about 58th Street. Still pretty easy ride for you, though. But northbound lanes on the Palmetto, real smooth commute for you. If you're leaving the airport, heading up to the Big Curve area, real easy ride. Shouldn't have any delays at all. I'm Mark Henry, CBS 4 News, Traffic Control.
6:03 is the time right now. A local family is in tears. Their mother was killed waiting at a bus stop. She was the mother of 7, and she was on her way to pick up medicine when the driver of a tractor trailer lost control and slammed into the bus stop she was waiting at.
The accident happened yesterday afternoon on Atlantic Boulevard, just east of 441, not far from the victim's house. CBS 4's Yusila Ramirez is live now in Margate with a devastated family's message to that driver. Yusila.
Well, it's a message of forgiveness, believe it or not. Very big of that family. Right now, we are off of Atlantic, right across the street from where this accident happened yesterday. And if you take a look, there is no longer a park bench there. And we can tell you that yesterday, the woman's body was under the wreckage for hours. It took heavy equipment and hours later to actually remove the body. For the family, the grieving is just beginning.
An agonizing reality for the family of Lormesia Hyacinth. The mother of 7 and grandmother of 9 was killed in a freak accident while she waited at a Margate.
I worked in the leather department where we cut the leather. I think you'll find that people at Jaguar are very self-conscious of their work, and I think quality is the premium thing at Jaguar.
The leather stitching going into the seats again is reflective of the hand quality that goes into the build of the car.
We still rely very heavily on the skill and experience of our craftsmen.
We've got pride in our work and we've got pride in the brand. When you work for Jaguar, you're not just building a car, you're building a piece of heritage.
My name is Ian Callum and I'm Design Director for Jaguar Cars. I wanted to create something that not only was beautiful, but it also had that sense of strength and confidence.
We took inspiration from a range of sort of areas, you know, obviously architecture and furniture, fashion and commodity. I think XKR represents a fantastic synthesis of all the qualities that a true sports car should have. So whilst it's got sensational exterior styling based on great proportion, it's also got the comfort, sort of great ergonomic strengths on the interior.
The technology we have inside this car is actually very user-friendly. And that goes right down to the touchscreen, the paddle change, you know, the way the car drives.
The sound is very important to Jaguar and really fits with the sort of overall styling and sensation of the car.
When you rev the beast, it growls at you.
I mean, it's a car that really sort of says power and performance. It's a car that has to shout speed, drive exhilaration, excitement, and really rekindle that passion that Jaguar sports cars always epitomised.
The car is made of aluminum. It's very lightweight, so it hasn't got a lot of mass to throw around. So from that point of view, the agility and the general performance, the fastest of the car is fantastic. It is utterly confident to drive. It's incredible.
Charlie, I'm in the tunnel now, buddy.
Are you safe to open traffic, yeah?
Not yet, buddy, not yet.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be here tonight with you, everybody. I want to say hello.
Not yet, buddy, not yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just have landed at Toronto Airport. For your comfort and safety, we give basic main in your seat, keep your seatbelt fastened.
Skyrocketing housing costs in South Florida, the CBS 4i team has uncovered a huge gaping loophole in the database. I've searched through thousands of records and found that many of these men could be living on your street, near the stores you frequent, and you would never know it. Because hidden deep within the database, there are sex offenders who could be just about anywhere. Because the address they provide is simply transient.
Do you understand the situation that's unfolding here?
In fact, some judges are now so worried about homeless sex offenders that they're putting them back in jail simply so they aren't on the streets anymore, able to harm more kids. This homeless man grabbed a 10-year-old while she was waiting for the Metro mover, pulled her into a stairwell, held her by her hair, and told her he would kill her if she screamed. He forced her to perform oral sex until he was spotted by a nearby worker. He served his sentence, but just last week a judge put him back in jail because he did not have a permanent residence. But while he's behind bars, keep in mind there are many transient sex offenders who are not. So where are they? Well, I searched and found more than a dozen like this one, Rene Matamoro. He's on probation for sexual battery on a child. His address? The Julia Tuttle Causeway.
There's apparently someone underneath the overpass next to the bicycle.
And when we go looking for him there, no one has seen him.
Anybody here looking for Renee? Renee?
Others supposedly live in what turns out to be a wooded vacant lot. I look for another at what turns out to be a parking lot. But this homeless man says he has no idea where the molester has gone.
Sir, are you Timothy?
Trying to check this address. Then I find more than 10 nonsense addresses like
Rear in Hialeah. Maybe it's the back of a house, who knows?
Or zip code 99999 or zip 00000. Some addresses on this FDLE database are simply transient.
says no match found.
Or they're addresses that don't appear to exist.
This says Northwest 12th Avenue and 12th Street. So that's where we are. It's basically under an overpass. And if you take a look around, you can see this is a parking lot across the street from the courthouse, Northwest 12th Avenue and Northwest 12th Street. So I'm looking for this guy. Now I see one place that he could be here, and that would be that cardboard box back here.
By the way, Angel Sanchez is no angel. He was convicted of several counts of molesting a child and is now on parole. The I-team obtained his parole records, and he's apparently so dangerous, he's not supposed to live in a setting where there are any minors. While searching, I see some men on a public bus bench.
Why don't you stay back here and I'll ask these people if they've seen him. Angel? Ooh, Angel? Are you Angel? Angel Sanchez? Is that you?
This is Angel Sanchez. When I ask if he's a sex predator, he admits it.
Lewd and lascivious. Molestation.
Yeah.
Por qué?
No.
He starts to show me where he sleeps.
In the box?
Yeah.
But when I ask too many questions, he changes his mind and takes off. So who's responsible for failing to track these dangerous offenders? I called every applicable law enforcement agency in Florida, and remarkably, not a single one would grant our request for an on-camera interview. Not even FDLE, which publishes the database. The Department of Corrections did fax me a statement saying, with today's housing market, it's becoming increasingly difficult for sex offenders to find residences. But it says probation officers do make compliance checks on homeless offenders. Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman-Schultz recently proposed a law requiring the worst sex offenders to wear electronic ankle bracelets for constant monitoring, a precaution that could someday be expanded to include all sex offenders.
Well, to me, the best solution is the GPS monitoring. You make sure that the person is wearing a waterproof bracelet. They have to make sure that they're within a certain distance of the transmitter in order to ensure that they don't go near a school, that they don't go near a daycare center, and then we can monitor their whereabouts at all times.
Some states require homeless sex offenders to check in with the courts every single week. We do not have that requirement in Florida. And of course, we're going to keep following this story because for anyone who cares about the safety of our kids, this is an issue that really hits home. Lori Stein, CBS 4 News, This Morning.
It sure does. There'll be a lot left on this investigation, an ongoing problem.
Absolutely. The time right now is 6:15, and Pamela Wright is here now with a look at our forecast and what we can expect today.
Not bad. Starting to, well, we'll see the sun come up in due time.
Already going through the day.
Well, we can see a little bit this morning to know there's not too many clouds out there.
Starting to.
I'm still here.
I'm sorry, you're to my left. I forgot.
All right, let's get you going this morning. You will be able to dress for a very nice spring day on this late autumn day, actually. 73 outside here in West Miami-Dade, 71 Miami at the airport, 76 Fort Lauderdale, and 71 in Key West. It is nice and dry. The humidity, not so bad for those temperatures, and the breeze, well, it's not so bad, but it is steady and coming in from the east. So let's take a look at that. Big high pressure really controlling things throughout the deep south and keeping things very nice. But with a steady onshore wind, the development of rip currents that literally feel like they're pulling you out to sea is a big risk, and that is going to be with us over the next several days. Temperatures for the eastern half of the country are all above normal. Now, maybe just 8 or 9 degrees, but they'll take it in the northeast. Are you kidding? They are almost out of degrees. How about that? In parts of Montana, Billings now at 2. At least that's above 0. We will see those numbers below 0 for the next several mornings. So this is the big wintry weather story. There is nothing wintry about what is happening down here. We find the precip that is in the northern plains is mostly rain at this point, but some of that cold air will be invading up there as well. Water vapor, couple of things. We know it's pretty dry down here, but well up high in the atmosphere, things are also nice and dry. So the showers that we are seeing, and we'll see some here and there today, are really just coming in on the breeze from over the ocean. So they'll blow in, they'll blow back out. They should not last very long, but the true view does show that the clouds thicken up from time to time on that breeze. The showers again, fast movers for tomorrow, but we expect some around. We watch that front by the end of the week. It's to our north, so we'll stay on the warm and muggy side, especially considering we're moving into December. And the first weekend of December, well, outside of a stray shower or two, not much of a problem. We will stay on the warm side as this front and its cold air stays on the north side. Okay, 82 today, very nice. A few degrees above the norm, and that is the trend for this entire week. Boaters certainly warm enough to be out there, but be careful, it is still going to be choppy. And swimmers, the risk of rip currents does remain high. 73 tonight near the coast. Few upper 60s well inland. That's about as cool as we're going to find. And look at that, 80s for the daytimes rule the upcoming weekend, and overnight lows in the low to mid 70s. So that's a warm week.
It certainly is.
Yep, heading into the first weekend of December already.
Wow. You just said 80s rule.
I did. I did. I'll get my shoulder pad. I'll be
Thank you,
back.
Pamela.
I'll grab my leg warmers.
6:18 right now. Mark Henry, what are you grabbing?
Well, unfortunately, we've got some problems out there right now. We're going out over Northwest 179th Street and Northwest 42nd Avenue. Accident here involving a pedestrian now. Air rescue has been called to the scene, so we'll keep you posted on this. But right now, this particular area is shut down. There's the air rescue chopper. So they're going to be, anytime air rescue shows up, that road's going to be shut down for a little while until they clear the scene. So we'll keep you posted on that one, let you know when it starts to clear up. But it doesn't look like a real busy intersection here, so shouldn't really affect your morning commute. Now, also taking a look at 95 north and southbound around the Golden Glades interchange, getting real heavy if you're heading southbound right now. If you're coming out of anywhere between 151st and about 79th Street, you're going to be hitting the brakes quite a bit through that area. Now, your northbound lane's getting by okay, so just give yourself a little bit of extra time. Same thing on 95 north and southbound around Griffin Road. Southbound lane's doing fine. Northbound lane's getting just a little bit heavy. A little bit of extra time is not going to hurt that commute. I'm Mark Henry, CBS 4 News Traffic Control.
6:19 the time. Let's go ahead and open up Dr. Sean's medical file this morning. Scientists are saying a new type of ultrasound is highly effective at determining if a breast lump is cancerous or harmless. It is called elasticity imaging, and in a small test it was nearly perfect at correctly diagnosing the patient. Doctors say this device may one day eliminate the need for many biopsies. Federal health officials are reminding people to get their flu shots because they say if vaccines go to waste this year, manufacturers may not make as much next year. The flu season really doesn't peak until February, but there is more than enough vaccine to go around. A record 110 million shots are expected to be available this season.
In today's Connect with Kids report, a startling new report about teenagers shoplifting. In fact, nearly 40% of shoplifters are teenagers. Many kids say to them it's just something small like earrings or other jewelry, but experts say they don't realize the consequences. One expert says when kids are young, they need to learn that it's better to earn something rather than to steal it.
Some investment in things. They need to work for things. They need to put off gratification, delay their gratification. It's okay to have to wait, save money, know the value of things because you're going to pay for things.
Besides a criminal record, teenagers should also learn that stealing eats away at their self-esteem and integrity.
Well, 6:20 is the time right now. Coming up next, a violent attack at school sends a student to the hospital. We're learning new details this morning about what pushed a classmate over the edge.
A week after a deadly bus crash, students at an Alabama school are back in the building.
Is Nick Saban heading back to school? Your Dolphin station has the details on who's after the Fins head coach.
I'm Maggie Rodriguez. It's the hottest health program followed by the stars. Princess Diana's personal physician created it, and our Beatrice Canals is putting it to the test for you.
See if the 21-day detox diet works. It could help you shape up for the holidays tonight at 5 and 11 on CBS 4 News.
Anna's dares you to compare.
I love these jersey sheets, but they're expensive, right? At that huge home store, yes, they're $19.99, but I got the whole set at Anna's for just $7.99. Just $7.99?
Everybody's talking about Anna's.
Anna's.
Where you get a lot more for a lot less.
On our next show, I am picking out right now. It's day 2 of our trade-off. One house makeover swapped for a dream wedding day. Then I cried for 6 hours. I'm facing my biggest fear, baking.
Rachel Ray, today at 3 on 4. Gwyneth Paltrow did it. So did Kate Blanchett. Now you could look and feel better in time for the new year.
I'm CBS 4's Beatrice Canals. I've been following the hottest new health program out there, created by Princess Diana's personal physician. See if it works when I test the 21-day detox diet.
Tonight at 5 and 11 on CBS 4 News.
CBS 4 News traffic is sponsored by Palmetto Ford. Why buy your truck from a car store? Palmetto Ford, your truck superstore. Give us a try before you buy. 305-592-FORD.
It's important when on a restricted diet due to diabetes to have sugar-free snacks on hand when you crave something sweet. Try great-tasting Murray's Sugar-Free Cookies, America's #1 brand of sugar-free cookies. All of your favorites are available at your neighborhood Publix. And be sure to try our new Fudge Dip Mint Cookie.
Stop by your Publix pharmacy for more information about a special offer on a Publix meter and delicious Murray sugar-free cookies. This CBS Health Watch was brought to you by Publix Pharmacies and Murray sugar-free cookies.
Action Tuesday, a preserved body.
That looks like a piece of beef jerky.
Plunges NCIS into a bizarre mystery.
Is that what I think it is? A human toad?
NCIS, then.
I'm a sergeant major. I will be executed.
The United States does not negotiate with terrorists.
We're on our own.
Can you bring him home?
Where the hell is he? Going to kill you.
The Unit after NCIS, CBS tonight.
Anna's dares you to compare.
Your table looks so festive. How much was the tablecloth? Well, I saw it at a major department store for $39.99. Expensive. Yeah, but at Anna's it's just $9.99.
Everybody's talking about Anna's.
Anna's.
Where you get a lot more for a lot less. If you see news in the making, dial star CBS 4 on your Metro PCS cellular phone. You're watching CBS 4 News this morning, South Florida's fastest growing morning newscast.
6:24 is the time right now in this morning's sports. The Miami Heat catch fire against the 76ers.
And Dolphins head coach Nick Saban reacts to rumors he's leaving the team. Here's CBS 4's Jim Barry.
Good morning. Nick Saban says forget the rumor mill. He is not leaving the Dolphins and returning to the college ranks at the University of Alabama. Saban says he's quite happy with the Dolphins, even though the rumor mill had him going back to the college ranks to replace the fired Mike Shula, whose Alabama teams never could whip arch rival Auburn. Saban says he's happy with the Dolphins, happy they're turning it around, and his work here is not done.
No, I haven't. Don't care to be, don't want to be. I got a job to do here. My focus is on our players, this team, us getting better, us playing good winning football here. I'm not interested in any other circumstances or situations anyplace else.
At the AAA last night, baseball buds Dontre Willis, Juan Pierre checking out the Heat, trying to slow down Allen Iverson. That's not easy. AI drops 45 for Philly, but the Heat more than a one-man show. Dwayne Wade, what a move! 33 points plus 13 assists for D. Wade, and on the other end, Alonzo Mourning blocking 7 shots. Wade so quick he saves that one inbounds. To Zoe's surprise, Heat finally win again at home, 103-91. I'm Jim Barry, CBS 4 Sports this morning.
All right, it is 6:25 and the early show coming up here in the next 35 minutes or so.
Let's check in with Julie Chen from our CBS studios in New York with a look ahead at the early show. Hey, Julie, good morning.
Hey, George, Danielle, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Coming up this morning on the early show, strong words from President Bush on Iraq. He says the rising violence is not civil war, but part of an al-Qaeda plot. CBS News White House correspondent Bill Plant is traveling with the president, and he'll have all the latest. Also this morning, Britney Spears has struck up a wild new social life since filing for divorce, including partying with Paris Hilton. We'll get the inside scoop on that. In our Health Watch, birth control for men. Can it work? And what will it mean for women? Dr. Emily Sine will have details. Plus, we're kicking off a special weight loss series. Do you know your body mass index? We're going to tell you why knowing that number could lead to a healthier life. So all that and much more coming up on the early show. Danielle, George, back to you guys.
I don't know if I want to know my body mass index.
Well, stay tuned. You may not need to know. You know.
There you go. See, she's so good.
So many numbers you need to know to stay fit. Julie Chen, thank you so much in New York.
All right.
Time now, 6:26. Coming up still this morning. Planning to do your holiday shopping online? A new warning that can save you big money.
Dodging a couple of showers, but overall, pretty good stuff and pretty warm stuff sticking around here. Back in just a minute, I'll show you the week.
Pamela, thanks. An attack caught on camera, but what's even more surprising about this is what people in the store did while that clerk was being attacked.
Here's a look at the numbers from Wall Street. Keep watching.
The Fort Lauderdale Home Design and Remodeling Show, November 30th through December 3rd, Broward County Convention Center. Improve your home inside and out. See fine furniture, accessories, remodeling, and decorating. Win a 5-day cruise aboard Norwegian Cruise Lines. Meet TV's Courtney Cachet, Yvette Rios, and Vern Yip. Opens Thursday through Sunday, Broward County Convention Center.
The Home Design and Remodeling Show. It's the one.
Did you know that people with diabetes are twice as likely to develop gum disease? Colgate Total is the first toothpaste that is approved by both the FDA and the American Dental Association to help prevent gingivitis. To keep your smile healthy and bright, be sure to contact your dentist if you experience any of these signs of gum disease. For more information or to get more tips on oral care, talk to your local Publix pharmacist.
This CBS Health Watch was brought to you by Publix Pharmacies and Colgate. Smile care you can trust.
Having a healthy mouth, a healthy smile is important to me, not just as an actress, but as a mom. That's why I like to keep my mouth healthy and protected all day. My dentist recommended Colgate Total. It's the only toothpaste I use.
Only Colgate Total creates a unique protective barrier that's clinically proven to fight germs for a full 12 hours.
Well, a healthy mouth's important to me because I spend my days face to face with some very important people.
12-hour germ-fighting Colgate Total, #1 recommended most by dentists.
And me.
Miami Chrysler Jeep is having the biggest clearance sale event ever with 0% APR, 0 down payment, and no monthly payments until 2007 on new Chrysler Jeep and minivan models. Prices on every unit in stock have been slashed for this special sale event, like a new 2006 PT Cruiser or Jeep Liberty from just $69 a month. That's right, your choice, just $69 a month. This sale event will not be repeated. Hurry, visit the #1 Chrysler Jeep volume dealer in Florida today. Miami Chrysler Jeep, 8250 Southwest 8th Street. On Donner, on Blitzen, on Comet and Cupid.
Yeah, you know, I only get the reindeer once a year. The rest of the time I drive. Santa doesn't like people that don't let him merge. Yeah, I just recently got the Sun Pass, and I'm really excited about having it. I like saving money, I must admit. Sun Pass allows you to save money when you go through the toll booth, so it pays for itself.
When you hear that little beep,
it's like Christmas.
Get the gift of Sun Pass at Publix or CVS Pharmacy.
This traffic report is brought to you by Miami-Dade Expressway Authority, MDX, delivering improved mobility for you.
It is my first movie with Julia Roberts. Next, Oprah.
Now, live. This is CBS 4 News This Morning.
Hope you're having a great Tuesday morning. I'm George Estevez.
And I'm Danielle Knox. Good to be with you as always this morning. Here's a look at our top stories.
A fight at a Miami-Dade high school ends with one student airlifted to the hospital.
And that fight also leads another student facing criminal charges. I'm Nefertiti Jacquez live at the school where it all happened. I'll have that story and what may have led to the fight in the first place coming up.
I'm Susan Roberts in Washington. President Bush sits down with NATO allies this week before heading to Jordan to meet with Iraq's prime minister. The story is coming up.
And the Pope makes his first visit to a Muslim country, arriving in Turkey within the last 30 minutes.
Trying to avoid a cold? Dr. Sean shows us some possible remedies to help you well the winter.
Well, the winter, I see you have your Ricola.
Yeah.
Is that helping you?
Cough syrup does wonders.
Good.
It is Tuesday, 6:31 right now, November 28th.
Time to get you on your way and out the door. Pamela Wright here with a look at our forecast with the cold to the humidity. Maybe a lot of people would be getting colds about now.
Yeah, no, you're a little confused what's going on. On top of allergies, because it's certainly warm enough for wonderful flowers to be blooming. All right, this morning, a little bit hazy, but beautiful sunshine. It's going to be a great day. Overall, the week is very nice. We're just going from temperatures well well below to staying well above normal for this entire week. Let's take a look at what's going on out there. Mid-60s would be the norm, and we're only finding that in West Kendall this morning. Very warm, especially along the coastline, with temperatures closer to the mid-70s, so a good 10 degrees above the norm in a few spots. Statewide, that cold air is out of here. We're finding 60s all the way across the Panhandle in northern Florida, with Key West at 71. So they are booking their flights down south as we speak, as a blast of winter is coming into the northern plains. We'll get in on that. 82, your high temperature today. Want to help get you to work. Mark Henry is here, and we have some very unfortunate situations going on.
Yeah, unfortunately right now we are looking at an accident. This is Northwest 179th Street and Northwest 42nd Avenue. Now, not a real busy road here, but unfortunately we do have a pedestrian hit, and we did receive word that it was a child. We don't know if it's a student or anything like, but again, air rescue has already left the scene, so the road is back open, but a lot of activity going on in this area. Give yourself plenty of extra time if you're going to be around this. Again, 179th Street and Northwest 42nd Avenue. You can definitely expect some delays through that area. I'm Mark Henry, CBS 4 News Traffic Control.
All right, Mark, thanks. We'll check back with you for the latest on that. This morning, we're hearing the details of a violent school fight that sent a teenager to the hospital.
Just such an interesting story here, because there were witnesses on the scene who say that teenager actually went as far as to smash the 17-year-old's head right against the concrete. CBS 4's Nefertiti Jacquez is live at South Dade High School this morning with the very latest on this disturbing story. Nef.
Well, Danielle, George, few details are being released by police about the fight that took place right here behind me in a hallway at South Dade High School. What we know, the fight was violent. It left that teen in the hospital recovering, as you mentioned, and a family trying to figure out just what happened to him.
Feel hurt because I'm trying to, feel what he's feeling, and at the same time trying to figure out, why this was done to my brother.
Veronica Verdoza waits and prays as her 17-year-old brother lies in a hospital bed at Jackson Memorial Hospital after paramedics airlifted him there just after 2 o'clock Monday.
You have so many mixed emotions. You don't know really what to feel, because it's my brother laying there, it's my brother the one that's hurt, and at the same time, you're like wondering who would possibly want to do something like this. You know what I'm saying? What kind of anger would put that person to want to, hurt somebody that bad.
Students say another 17-year-old boy repeatedly pounded Veronica's brother in what they say began as a beef over a girl in a hallway at South Dade High School.
The boy just kept hitting him in his face and hitting him in his stomach.
I just seen him hit the bench, and then they said that they kicked him in the face or something like that.
The boy took his foot and stomped his head on the ground.
The beating left Veronica's brother bruised and bleeding from the head. He suffered a concussion. His alleged attacker now under arrest, facing felony assault charges.
I'm glad. He needs to, learn his lesson that that's not how you stop robbery.
And that was CBS 4's Nefertiti Jacquez reporting live on that school fight. More throughout the morning. Meanwhile, right now at 6:34, we have new details this morning about what police found inside a murdered football player's apartment. A search warrant obtained by our partners at the Miami Herald shows investigators took an assault rifle, a shotgun, a semi-automatic weapon, all from Brian Patta's home in Kendall. Patta was gunned down 3 weeks ago today. Police have not found his killer. You can read more on this story in today's Miami Herald or log on to miamiherald.com. A former police officer finds himself on the wrong side of the law once again. Police arrested disgraced former Miami-Dade officer Joe Losada yesterday. They say he stole a rifle during a raid last year. Losada and his partner were arrested on similar charges back in January. They're awaiting trial. For more on this story, you could also pick up a copy of Miami Herald or log on to miamiherald.com.
Well, the time right now is 6:35. Florida's governor is speaking out against a judge after CBS 4's investigation, The Forgotten Floor, examined the treatment of inmates with mental illnesses. The Department of Children and Families has said they do not have the room to care for about 300 men and women being held behind bars right now. In response to that, a Florida judge threatened to hold the head of the DCF in contempt and throw her behind bars. But Governor Jeb Bush says that is not the way to handle this.
With all due respect to judges pounding their chest in their big black robes up on top of a big chair, you know, looking down and castigating Secretary Haiti, they're not governor, they're not the secretary, they're not the legislature. There is a separation of powers, and I just, you know, I'm not a lawyer, but I do think that there's an appropriate role of the judiciary, and I think that some of the temper tantrums that have taken place have gone too far.
On Friday, the DCF announced $5 million in new funding to open up 85 beds for inmates with severe mental illness.
More and more Broward Sheriff's deputies are training with some serious firepower to help them take an aim at crime. Semi-automatic rifles are being used on regular street patrol now. Officials say it's all about leveling the playing field with heavily armed criminals. CBS 4's Ted Scouten takes a look.
Police across the country are noticing an alarming trend. It seems that criminals are better armed these days. Well, now some Broward Sheriff's deputies are up to par too with firepower with something like this. This is a patrol rifle. Broward Sheriff's deputies getting guns that are up to snuff, as powerful as criminals.
Bullets being exchanged, fire being exchanged.
This shootout in Los Angeles back in 1997 is graphic evidence showing how criminals are trying to stay a step ahead. In this case, using bulletproof armor, making cops' guns useless. Closer to home, we see bank robbers in Tamarack using assault weapons in the heist. And the latest, this car shot up Sunday in West Park with metal-piercing bullets, leaving one person dead, another clinging to life. Now, cops have the same power.
We want to level the playing field between the deputy on the road and some of the bad guys out there.
This rifle is an AR-15 semi-automatic. It's the department's answer to the need for more firepower.
It has the capability of shooting at a longer distance, it's much more accurate, and the penetration power is much more.
Take a close look at a bullet. See how it compares to a 9mm and a .38 caliber? It dwarfs them in size and power.
It can penetrate the body armor, normal body armor that we have. It can penetrate things like walls and cars. It can go through refrigerators or washing machines, things like that.
It's up to deputies to decide if they want to buy one of these more powerful guns and use them on the job. And just so the bad guys know, so far more than 200 have taken the training, and these guns are on the road in every BSO district around the county. So far, the Sheriff's Office has offered 8 courses on how to train deputies on how to use a rifle like this one here. They say next year they plan on having at least 1 course a month. In Sunrise, I'm Ted Scouten, CBS 4 News.
Time now 6:38. President Bush has opened a high-stakes diplomatic mission asking for more help from U.S. allies. These meetings come at a time when some officials in Iraq are debating the issue whether the country is spiraling into a civil war. CBS 4's Susan Roberts joins us live this morning now from Washington, D.C. with the latest on this story. An important week for President Bush.
Yes, it is, George. Good morning to you. And speaking about a possible civil war in Iraq, President Bush answered reporters' questions in Estonia today, saying that Iraq is not on the verge of a civil war and that the latest cycle of violence does not represent a new era in Iraq. Now, this comment appears at odds with the assessment of the president's national security advisor, who told reporters on the way to Estonia earlier that Iraq is in a new phase that requires changes.
Bound for the NATO summit, President Bush breezed through a stopover in Estonia on a trip that's building to a face-to-face meeting with Iraq's prime minister.
My questions to him will be, what do we need to do to succeed? What is your strategy in dealing with the sectarian violence?
The White House is rejecting suggestions Iraq is already in a civil war. Aboard Air Force One National Security Advisor Stephen Hadley would only say, we're clearly in a new phase characterized by this increasing sectarian violence. The Iraq Study Group has been busy discussing what to do next. Monday, the panel interviewed UN Secretary General Kofi Annan as he publicly warned that Iraq is on the brink of civil war.
Unless something is done drastically and urgently to arrest the deteriorating situation, we could be there. And in fact, we are almost there.
The bipartisan study group is expected to recommend the U.S. enlist the help of Iran and Syria. After meeting with Iran's president, Iraqi President Jalal Talabani said his country needs Iran's support to establish security and stability. Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki is expected to bring up relations with Iran and Syria at Wednesday's meeting with President Bush. The
White House National Security Advisor has cautioned not to expect any finalized plans for a new Iraq strategy when President Bush comes out of his meeting with Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki in Jordan on Thursday. In Washington, I'm Susan Roberts, CBS 4 News This Morning.
All right, Susan, thank you. Time now 6:41, and this morning the Pope has arrived in Turkey. There he is. This is video of him at the Ankara airport at 6 o'clock this morning. It's the Pope's first trip to a Muslim country since his controversial comments 2 months ago linking Islam to violence. Security is high right now. On Sunday, hundreds gathered in the streets of Turkey to protest the Pope's arrival today. More protests are expected later. The Pope says his 4-day trip is aimed at promoting dialogue and bridging differences. Taking a look at news across the country right now. This morning, students attending a Huntsville, Alabama tech school will return to class. The campus was closed when a school bus full of students headed to the downtown building plunged over the highway last week. 4 students died. 2 students and the bus driver are still hospitalized. Authorities say the accident may have been caused by another student whose car appeared to hit that bus. A convenience store clerk is left bleeding on the floor. Now, police in Minnesota hope this video right here will help them catch the crook that put him there. Take a look as the robber attacks the clerk behind the counter, dragging him out of the store and stabbing him repeatedly. Customers inside the store did nothing to stop it. They just grabbed their things and left. Take a look at that. The clerk is still in critical condition. A group home goes up in flames here and claims the lives of 10 people. The building in Missouri is also home to mental health patients. 34 people were in the home at the time. 32 of them were patients. Now, the governor says the fire is being treated as a crime. CBS 4's Kyung Law has the latest now on this tragedy.
Those who could get out did, but many of the residents of the Anderson Group Home, elderly and mental health patients, could not.
When I opened the door, I could see the building, this half of it, the north half, totally engulfed in flames, and you could hear screaming. It was horrible.
Investigators say 34 people were inside the group home, 32 residents and 2 caretakers. 9 residents and 1 caregiver died in the fire. The dead ranged in age from their early 20s to the elderly. State and federal investigators combed the rubble for any clues about the blaze.
We're treating this as if it were a crime scene. We're not saying it's definitely a crime scene, but we're treating it as if it is and trying to determine if the fire was set by somebody that had a nefarious motive.
The Missouri town of 1,800 people, nestled in the Ozarks, now grieves for the weakest in their community.
I'm still shocked. I mean, I was there when the place was built, and to see it go like this and see people, injured, and knowing that some of the people that I knew really well that are now deceased, it's hard.
Investigators say they will spend most of the day searching for the cause of this fire. They are still trying to reach relatives of at least 2 of the victims. In Anderson, Missouri, I'm Kyung Law.
Right now at 6:44, let's check on traffic. Here's Mark Henry at the Golden Glades.
Hey, good morning. Well, we're taking a look at 95 north and southbound right here. A little bit of heavy traffic starting to build up southbound, pretty much out of the Cloverleaf. Give yourself plenty of time between 151st and 79th Street. Now your northbound lanes getting by without any delays at all. So you got plenty of open road there to deal with. Also taking a look, not a whole lot of open road on the Palmetto Expressway. Southbound lanes, you may even want to think about the turnpike as your southbound alternate, but your northbound lanes getting by just fine. I'm Mark Henry, CBS 4 News Traffic Control.
Now weather with Pamela Wright.
Hi, good morning. Here we are, 6:45. Just 15 minutes to get you out the door before 7 o'clock. Not a problem. Beautiful out the door weather-wise, though sounds like the roads are moving a little slowly this morning. Mostly clear skies out there. Even with the clear skies, temperatures did not go down very much overnight. We have mostly held on to the low and mid 70s this morning. The cool spot still West Kendall, still only reporting 62. Around the state, we find a lot of temperatures in the 60s, so nice and warm for all of us. And we are going to take a look at what is coming down this week, because across a lot of the country, the huge story will be the cold. You see all of this rain from essentially northern Texas up around the Great Lakes. Well, this cold air is going to catch up with it, so a lot of this rain in Minnesota and Wisconsin and Illinois will be turning into blowing snow by later on tonight. So travel travel-wise, that could impact you coming up. The strong high pressure certainly keeping things relatively great around here, but the gusty winds at the coast we'll have to talk about. All right, look at the difference. The bitter cold air just really beginning to sort of drop in to the northern plains. Now Billings is at 1. We've tracked it all morning. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Temperatures well below zero in this part of the country by tonight. And look at this, interacting with 60s. So this is going to be a potential big mess across the U.S. We see the spin in the atmosphere here, the area of low pressure that's going to pull down that cold air. Look at the southern branch of the jet stream bringing up the moist air. So this is where the really messy stuff across the country will be. As it is so cold back there, it is quite warm on the eastern half of the country, and that includes us. Nice and warm through the day today. A couple of showers on the breeze. We hold that in the forecast for the next several days, and in fact into the end of the week and into December. This front is going to stay north of us, so we'll be on the muggy side by the end of the week. 82 on your Tuesday for a high temperature. Very nice, beautifully sunny now, but some clouds will come in as the day goes on, and we'll hold on to nice breaks of sunshine. Boaters, not great. East wind 15 to 20 knots, so still pretty strong. So small craft caution and rip currents, well, everybody needs to heed that warning this week. Few upper 60s inland as we will clear out tonight, but at the beach we'll still stay in the low 70s. And look at the numbers. Our average high this time of year, 79, 80 degrees. Yeah. Look at us. Low to mid 80s for this week, so staying quite warm, and again, more and more we will appreciate it as we see what's going on around the country.
That is true.
Yeah.
We're such overachievers.
Aren't we?
Thank you, Pamela. 6:47 the time right now, and our Sunshine's Consumer Alert this morning. The holidays are, of course, the busiest time of year for scams. And now with the World Wide Web at an all-time high, it is also a busy time for internet scam artists. A survey conducted last month shows 1 in 10 people, in fact, have been victimized while shopping online. Experts want you to stay away from online promises for items that are sold out in stores, like the new PlayStation 3 or Nintendo's rival gaming console, Wii.
6:48. Dealing with a cold can get really old.
Really fast.
It can also put your life on hold.
It certainly can, but finding a remedy doesn't have to. CBS 4 health specialist Dr. Sean Caniff is here with some simple ways to help prevent and to treat the cough and sniffles.
It doesn't matter how old you are. Chances are you're gonna get a cold this winter.
I'm just really tired and kind of weak.
Sore throat, itchy eyes.
While colds can't be cured, they can be combated naturally. Maureen Spencer is an infection control specialist. She reviewed the research on a number of natural approaches to strengthening our ability to fight off harmful bugs.
This is andrographis. That's been proven by 7 randomized clinical trials that this absolutely will alleviate upper respiratory infections. And this is actually based on the elderberry herb.
That's found in sambucol, and an Israeli study found that it suppressed the influenza virus.
This is pelargonium. It actually reduces the severity of the respiratory symptoms.
Astragalus is an ancient Chinese herb being embraced by Western medicine.
This is just something that will enhance the immune system.
And what about vitamin C and zinc? Some research recommends a high dose of each at the first sign of a cold. But the verdict is mixed on echinacea. One study did show some promise.
This particular type, purpurea, is the better brand.
But some doctors, like Dr. Guy Pugh, do have some reservations.
These are not generally tested rigorously for either harmful side effects or effectiveness.
The best advice is to do your homework before you try anything new. Dr. Sean Caniff, CBS 4 News this morning.
All right. Just make sure your medicine cabinet is stocked with all kinds of healthy stuff, I guess, is the moral of that story. 6:50 is the time right now. Coming up next for you this morning, Saddam Hussein's genocide trial resumes in Baghdad. Find out what the former Iraqi leader is facing today.
A South Florida family faces a devastating loss when a mother of 7 dies in a horrifying bus crash. What investigators are looking at today.
Is Nick Saban heading back to school? Your Dolphin station has the details on who's after the Finns head coach.
And good morning, Angela Ray here. My 33 News on the Move is on the way. Rumors are a-swirling that Nicole Kidman will soon be hearing the pitter-patter of little feet. Coming up all new at 7 a.m. I'll tell you where the Oscar winner was reportedly showing off her baby bump. That's at 7 a.m. on My 33 News on the Move. But George and Danielle coming right back at you on CBS 4 News this morning. You stay with them.
You're watching CBS 4 News This Morning, South Florida's fastest growing morning newscast.
CBS 4 News Traffic is sponsored by Palmetto Ford. Great prices, great people, great service for over 40 years. Give us a try before you buy. 305-592-FORD.
When is the right time to start saving for your child's college education? The answer is now. What could be more important than our children and their future? College isn't that expensive if you start saving now. A Florida prepaid college plan can be opened for less than $25 a month. Enroll online today.
Unbelievably fast. Sign up for Comcast high-speed internet today and get this amazing offer. At ridiculously quick speeds, it's way faster than DSL and dial-up. Sign up today and start doing more things online faster. Just call today. Comcast high-speed internet. It's Comcastic.
It's important when on a restricted diet due to diabetes to have sugar-free snacks on hand when you crave something sweet. Try great-tasting Murray's sugar-free cookies, America's #1 brand of sugar-free cookies. All of your favorites are available at your neighborhood Publix. And be sure to try our new Fudge Dip Mint Cookie.
Stop by your Publix pharmacy for more information about a special offer on a Publix meter and delicious Murray sugar-free cookies. This CBS Health Watch was brought to you by Publix Pharmacies and Murray sugar-free cookies.
Marshall's Law number 192. Get your holiday shopping all wrapped up. Find everything on everyone's wish list. From fabulous glass to luxurious leather to the most coveted designers. All at up to half off department and specialty store prices. Law number 183. Get sleigh loads of gifts at a price that won't rein you in. Never overpay for what's under the tree. That's Marshall's Law.
Here's the perfect way to get into the holiday spirit. Try a new Honda truck on for size during Happy Honda Days. From the flexible Element and 8-passenger Pilot to the rugged Ridgeline and the all-new, very cool CR-V. It's a great time to save and make all your truck wishes come true. See your Honda dealer today. They have holiday spirit by the truckload. Happy Honda Days. Lease a Honda Ridgeline for $299 a month for well-qualified customers.
Breaking Clay Aiken and Kelly Ripa news. Next Insider.
6:53 the time. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our top stories making headlines this morning. A local family is just torn apart after their mother was killed at a bus stop. Lormicia Hyacinth was a mother to 7 and a grandmother to 9 children. She died when a truck plowed into the bus stop she was waiting to board at 441 and Atlantic Boulevard. Investigators right now are trying to figure out why the truck driver, 41-year-old Mark Guarino, lost control. Guarino was released from the hospital late last night.
A fight between 2 students at a Homestead high school ended with one in the hospital and the other in jail. The 17-year-old student from South Dane High School was airlifted to Jackson Memorial with non-life-threatening injuries. Another boy, also 17, was arrested and now faces battery charges. It's not known what caused the argument, but some witnesses say it was over a girl.
Saddam Hussein's genocide trial continues today in Baghdad. Saddam and 6 other former members of his regime have pleaded innocent to charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity for their role in the military offensive against the Kurds. Saddam already faces hanging for the deaths of more than 140 Shiite Muslims.
Dolphins head coach Nick Saban shot down rumors that he will be leaving for the University of Alabama. A story coming out of Birmingham had the Crimson Tide offering Saban its head coaching job. That job became available because Mike Shula, son of Don, was fired after 4 seasons. Saban used to coach at Louisiana State University.
And of course, Don Shula used to coach for the Dolphins. His son is fired. All goes full circle, and they want the Dolphins head coach. So.
Sure does.
6:55 is the time right now. Let's get one last check of the roadways before you head on out the door.
Here's Mark Henry.
Mark Henry, son of Gary. Anyway, take a look outside. Not doing too bad out there. 95 southbound and northbound around Griffin Road. Both directions looking like a real easy ride there. Taking also a look at Palmetto, getting real heavy at this point. Southbound lanes between the big curve all the way down to the airport. That's going to take you a little while. Northbound lanes getting by without any problems. We're also going to take a look at some drive times for you before you head on out the road right now. Taking a look, 595 eastbound, 75 to 95, about 17 minutes. South Dixie Highway to northbound between Kendall Drive and 95, about 21 minutes. And the Palmetto, 75 to the Dolphins, going to take you about 22 minutes. Get out there and take your time or head on over to the Turnpike. I'm Mark Henry, CBS 4 News Traffic Control.
6:56 right now. Let's find out what it's like when you head outside.
It's going to be warm. Hey, Pamela, how are you?
It is. It is beautiful this morning. 72 degrees. Great morning to get out for your walk a little early because it is going to be pretty warm this afternoon, but comfortably so overall. 82 our high temperature today. Yeah, a few degrees above the norm. We continue that trend as the week goes on, and with the winds up, the seas are up as well. So be very careful offshore today. Okay, somebody's hair. Fancy, Danielle. 73 degrees. All right, here are the numbers right through the end of the week. Staying warm, and whoever is doing your hair is going to have their job cut out with the humidity and the heat over the next few days.
Will they ever? I wish I could just be like Mark Henry and just throw some...
Look at that.
Just look at that.
That's all you got.
It's all about the product.
That's
It is
right.
about-
Right.
Well, the early show next, another local update with live weather and traffic in about 25 minutes here on CBS.
We'll see you on My 33 News now. We're on the move.
That's right. Keep you up on all the news, and Angela Way will be here to dish all of today's dirt.
That's right. Hope to see you in about 2 minutes.
All right, take care, everybody.
If you have a cold and high blood pressure, you should know that decongestants in these cold medicines can raise your blood pressure. So why take them? Take decongestant-free Corsedin HBP. Powerful cold relief that won't raise your blood pressure.
Work, errands, family. No wonder women are more likely to be irregular. Correctol is the laxative made for women with the ingredient doctors recommend most for gentle, dependable overnight relief. So I can feel like myself again.
Start tomorrow right. Correctol tonight.
Kids want their bedrooms to be fun, a place where they can play, hang out, and be comfortable. When I designed kids' furniture with rooms to go, as a mom, I wanted to give them all of that and more. It had to be safe, functional, and built to last. Quality bedroom furniture that transitions with your kids as they grow. So now, everyone gets to be happy.
The Cindy Crawford Kids Collection, now exclusively at Rooms to Go Kids.
I can't wait to be part of your home.
It's the most magical time of the year. Experience advanced performance and technology at Acura's Drive Home for the Holidays sales opportunity. Take advantage of attractive lease rates on all 2007 Acura models for well-qualified customers.
My name is Giovanni Maladesta, and I have a confession to make. The other day, one of my dearest customers opened the wrong door. Unfortunately, he saw something he should have never seen. He saw us using the best olive oil from Andalusia, Spain. So, we did what we had to do. We took care of him. Enjoy the olive oil, Danny.
You could go to a department store and buy this great designer outfit for your lunch date with Jenny for $359. Or you could go to Ross and get the exact same designer outfit. Plus, a great outfit for your blind date with Gina. One for your dinner date with Julie. And something to wear for your special evening in with Ginger. And still have $87 left over. Ross, there's no comparison.